Hi there, welcome to this video on blending modes in Photoshop. Okay, blending modes are something that really cool, can give you some fantastic looking effects. You probably see them every day in advertising that you would read that comes past your face in some way, shape or form, whether it be in printed material or on the web. So blending modes are something that is worth taking a bit of time to get to know how they work and how you can use them and adopt them into your own photos and into your own image editing. Okay, we need two images so that we've got something to blend. If you don't have two images, you can't blend anything. So we're going to click on our top image here and drag it onto this other image that we have behind it, which is just a landscape type image. So we have our top image, which is the picture of this lady, and we have our bottom image, which is the picture of this landscape. Okay, now we're just using these two images for the purpose of the video tutorial. You can use whatever images you like and have a lot of fun with it. Okay, you need your layers palette open, so press F7 on the keyboard if you don't have your layers palette open. If you do have it open, fantastic, we're in business. Okay, now you'll see the word up here which says normal. Okay, this is our blending mode, it's already set to normal. Okay, normal just means that there are no blending, there's no blending happening. Okay, and when we're talking about blending, we are talking about the current layer that's selected and the layer beneath it. So in this case we have layer 1, which we'll just call woman, and the background layer is the layer underneath. So when we're talking about blending modes and selecting a blending mode, we are talking about blending the woman layer and the background layer. Okay, so let's click on here and see what we've got. Okay, there are a number of different options here. We've got first one, we've got normal and dissolve. Then underneath that we have our darken series. You can see they're broken up into sections here. Then we have our lighten section. Then we have our overlay section, and this section here is mainly deals with contrast and things like that. And then we've got difference and exclusion, and then we've got our color section down the bottom here: hue, saturation, color, and luminosity. Alright, we're just going to have a look at a few of the different examples and see what they do to our images, and then we'll just give you a quick overview on how you may be able to use them too. And we'll have a sneak preview at the advanced blend if options too. Okay, so let's select darken here. What darken does, it keeps the darkest part of the two images. So in this case, you can see we'll just switch back to normal. In this image here, the girl's hair around here is quite dark, and it's darker than anything underneath it. So where it's sitting in the sky here, the top image here is darker. You can see though around the edges of our image of the lady, that's actually lighter than what's behind it. So that will disappear. So it will be blended away. So if we select darken, then you can see it's keeping the darker areas the darker of the two images. Okay, then underneath that we've got multiply, which is even darker. It basically multiplies the colors there. Color burn, and you can see that's just looking crazy, and linear burn, very dark burnt image. Now we have lighten, and lighten obviously the opposite of darken. So it's keeping all the light stuff and lightening all the dark stuff too. You can see that the darker areas on this girl here have become kind of washed out now and come a lot lighter, and the lighter areas in the in her top are kept. And you can also see in the buildings down here, you can see there's certain parts of them are lighter than the hair, so they're shining through. So that's how that's working. Then we've got screen, it's similar, just a different effect. Color dodge, and linear dodge. Okay, just extra extremes of them. Now keep in mind when we are using the blending modes that we have access to our opacity and our fill options here too. So we can change our opacity, so we can soften the changes that are made here in our blending with our blending mode. So if we think it's a bit too harsh what we've done there, we can actually change that using our opacity slider here. Okay, so then we have our hard light, vivid light, pin light, hard mix. Okay, so we've got some pretty out there options here. Whoa, difference. So let's have a look. We could really enlarge the picture here now and do some fun things with it. Anyway, So there's all sorts of things that we can do with these blending modes. Okay, exclusion, and then we have our hue, saturation, color, and luminosity. So there is the different blending modes and different options that we have here. Okay, so let's select one, soft light. Okay, so we've got soft light selected now. Now what we can do to have a quick look at the advanced blend if options are, we can right click on here, or if you're on a Mac with a single mouse button, shame on you, no, just kidding. Get a 2-button mouse if you can. Fantastic. One of the best investments you'll make if you have a Mac with a single button mouse currently, because you get instant access to all the right mouse buttons options, which are very helpful. Okay, if you're on a Mac though, you can press Control and single click on blending options. Okay, and that brings up our blending options here in our advanced blending modes. And down the bottom here, we've got this thing called blend if. Okay, and blend if options are fantastic, and we do use them quite a bit in our image editing, especially for softening skin and so forth. We'll touch on that a bit later though. Okay, so blend if, what we have here, this layer, so this is our current selected layer that we have, which is our woman, has the blending effects taken into account there, and we can change our sliders here, and you can see as I slide this shadow slider to the right, the further I bring it down, it's actually revealing what's underneath, so it's revealing the background layer. Now if I want to make this transition smooth, so I actually do want to have some of this background layer coming through, I can hold my Alt or my Option key down whilst clicking on the side of this slider here, and you can see now as I slide that out that it gives me a smooth edge there. It gives me a nice smooth soft edge in my blending. So we can adjust some of the shadows there, and we can do the same with our highlights too. So you can see there as I slide that up that it's giving me a hard edge here around the lighter areas of the picture. If I hold my Alt or Option key down, that then splits the slider and really smooths it out. So gives us a different effect there. And we can adjust our opacity for this blending mode here as well, so we can bump that down if we like to 50%, click on OK, and then we've got a kind of cool effect. Anyway, this is some of the ways that we can use blending modes and blend if options in Photoshop. I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial. We've only really just slightly touched on it, but don't be scared of using blending modes. They are fantastic. They give you a lot of flexibility and can really add to the creativity that you can apply to your photos and to your images. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, picked up a tip or two. Have a great day, and see you on the next video.